here. Oh, hi, this is Andrew. This is my newest true crime story video. This is segment 2 on Florida death row inmate Michael Anthony Tanzi, who is set for execution on April 8th, which is a week from today. This segment is that Michael Anthony Tanzi is claiming that he is too morbidly obese to be executed, that it could amount to cruel and unusual punishment. He was arguing that before the Florida Supreme Court, and now I just found out that the Florida Supreme Court just denied his appeal. Yeah, I didn't think that appeal was going to be successful at all. I mean, this reminds me of a case back in 2008 when Ohio was getting ready to execute condemned murderer Richard Wade Cooey II, and he was arguing that he was too obese to be executed. And of course, somebody commented well, he should have thought of that before he chose to commit the crime and eat too much dessert. Well, that's the same thing Michael Anthony Tanzi should have definitely thought of. Of course, I already mentioned that Michael Anthony Tanzi was convicted in the abduction, sexual assault, and murder of Janet Acosta, who worked for the Miami Herald. She was abducted during a carjacking while she was on lunch break and taken into neighboring Monroe County, where you have the Florida Keys. And of course, he was in the Florida Keys. He was found with Acosta's vehicle. He confessed to the crime, and Michael Anthony Tanzi showed detectives where her body could be found, which truly confirms that he was the perpetrator who did it. The crime happened in 2000, and he's been on death row for over 20 years now. And it's not just that. In 2006, when Ohio was executing an infamous cult leader named Jeffrey Don Lundgren, his lawyers also argued that he was too obese and had type 2 diabetes, that it would amount to a cruel and unusual punishment. But Jeffrey Don Lundgren's execution was carried out with no problems. Same with Richard Wade Cooey in 2008. Of course, in Florida, they did it the last time they used the electric chair was on Alan Lee Davis, who was also obese, and he bled from his nose and mouth. But these anti-death penalties are saying the poor guy, of course, Alan Lee Davis was convicted of murdering a pregnant woman and her 2 daughters after he broke into their Jacksonville home. And of course, he died in the electric chair for it. And of course, the husband/father of the victims who witnessed the execution was, from what I read, was out of town on business when it happened, but he witnessed it, the execution of Alan Lee Davis. So from the looks of it, it's highly unlikely that Tanzi's appeals are going to succeed in this matter either. Well, hope you enjoy the video, and thanks.